What are we here for? What do you truly want? When change is not enough, what do you do? What are we here for? What do you truly want? When change is not enough, what do you do? Let's talk about it, the problems we face. Let's fight hatred, no time to waste. The mind is naked, we can see it without an x-ray. Life is easy if we work together. We're the keepers, we're the people, we're all equal, filled with purpose. The past has pain, it'll drive you, even make you take aim. But together is where we should aim. Together is where we should. What are we here for? What do you truly want? When change is not enough, what do you do?
Welcome back to another edition of the Be Forever Cool podcast. I'm Fortyfive. We got some fun tonight. This is Vroom Wednesdays. Got the guys in. We're going to introduce them in a little bit. I want to thank everyone for liking and subscribing and doing all the wonderful things we like, all the comments and all that stuff. I mean, we really appreciate it. The back and forth on IG, on TikTok as well, Facebook, even Reddit. You know what I'm saying? So very excited. Definitely. I'm excited that you guys like what we're doing, and we hope to continue to do it and have some fun. This past weekend was the Brazil round. We have Coda coming up. Press conference is going to be tomorrow, Thursday. The season is not what we thought it would be. A lot of craziness. But before I go into it all by myself, let me bring the guys in. Welcome to the show, Jordan, man. How you doing tonight?
Loving life, brother. Loving life, man. Like I said, this season is not what it's expected to all to be wrapped up. I'm glad that it's been a kind of a moving shaker so far. So I'm liking it. I'm liking the way everything is starting out. Even with Moto 2 and Moto 3, it's not all gimme. It's definitely some movers and shakers in the paddock this year.
Nice, man. So how's the weather in Georgia, man?
Weather's pretty good. Actually, it's riding weather down here, brother. It is definitely riding weather. As long as it doesn't rain as much as it has been for the past couple of weeks, kind of off and on, right. It's definitely riding weather. So if you need to come down to the south, I got a spot. I got an extra room.
All right. Well, I think for me, it's going to be going up, but I'm going to try to definitely make it as I sort out my camera situation here. Let's bring in the other guys. Welcome to the show, Smitty, man. How you doing, man?
Pretty good. What's going on with you guys, man?
Man, ain't nothing much, man. Overheating my camera here, so that's unfortunate, but we're gonna have to fix that.
He's spitting that fire, that's why.
You know what it is, talking to you guys.
It's that intro, man.
And not paying attention to what I'm doing. That's what it is, man. That's good, man. How's that Atlanta?
Not bad. Good weather, but it's pollen season for now, so hope that goes away soon. But other than that, pretty good. Can't complain. Been out playing golf, working on my bike, getting ready for my first track day in 2 weeks, then my racing coming up. So that's it.
Okay. That's what's up, man. 2 weeks? Where you doing a track day at?
This one's going to be at Barber, and I got some new wheels I want to test out. So
when you say new wheels, what kind of wheels?
No, I got some Core Moto aluminum wheels now, a little bit lighter than the stock wheels. So
Okay.
I want to see how much better, or if it does anything different to the bike handling wise. So we'll see.
All right, that's what's up. That's what's up, man. I don't think I'm gonna be there for a couple of weeks. I know I'm gonna be up that way for Moto America.
Right. Okay.
I definitely do want to do a track day up that way for sure. Well, let me keep it moving and get the rest of the gang in here, and then we'll all chop it up, and hopefully I get to do that track day with you up that way. Tyson, man, welcome back to the show, man. How you doing tonight?
What's up, Rexy? Doing good. How are you?
Man, technical difficulties. Got to yell at the producer. I feel like whatchamacallit in Tropic Thunder. Just as the guy playing the guy, you know that one.
This is a dude playing another dude.
Yeah, man. You must be excited. Next month is Neymar series, so I know you got to be, even though the weather may not show it, you got to be ready, man.
Yeah, I mean the weather never shows it for round one, so that's going to probably be cold. But I'm looking forward to being there round one.
Yeah, nice. That's what's up. I wish I was going to be up there for round one, but I think I'm gonna make it up there for the classic at the moment. That's the plan. So, and if I'm lucky enough, I'll trail up the R6 and maybe do the Formula 40s.
Nice.
For fun, man. So, but enough about what we're talking about as far as meeting up and track days and racing. Let's talk about Brazil, guys. We did the Monday show, talked about it. I know you guys watched it and saw what happened. We'll go around the horn and hear your take on what you thought about Brazil, our track conditions, and or just the ride itself. We start with Jordan, man. Tell us what you think.
I was kind of surprised that, I'm not surprised of the race, but with the track conditions being kind of iffy the way it was, I thought the track times was going to be a little bit less than what they were.
Okay.
But, with those tires that everybody's running right about now, man, you can go pretty much full lean angle, give it all the gas, and you've got a lot of grip. So, I mean, they was knocking down teens when I was expecting them to be in the 20s.
Gotcha.
So they was on it from the jump, and I was pretty surprised about it. And then once Free Practice 2 came out, then everything started getting dry. The next thing you know, it was off to the races, quick, fast, in a hurry. And the top 10 was in the same second with 5 minutes left.
Yeah.
I was just like, man, this season is going to be a lot more fun than the current seasons they have been the past couple of years. And it was exciting. It was exciting to see qualifying. And then the race was, we'll talk about that.
Yeah, no doubt, man. I was surprised at the times too, so we'll talk about that because I mean that was some pretty fast time. What are your thoughts, Smitty, man, on the weekend? Did you buy your ticket to Brazil? What happened?
I wish, man. So track conditions, I mean, yeah, they were kind of bad, but sometimes it happens that way. But it wasn't like an unsafe kind of bad. It was just kind of rocks, kind of hitting people and riding, but which ain't that bad. However,
Smitty. Listen. Track days, right? You've raced. You've had just the rubber of the bike ping your visor.
Yeah, it stings a little bit, but they'll be fine. But
this is like
my point is
somebody throwing like pellets at you, like rah, rah.
Listen, every guy that was in second through 22nd got pellets at me. My thing is, you don't want to get hit, get in first place.
I mean, look, man. Listen, man. I hear that. I mean, you're a former military guy, so you are used to that advanced training where you have to overcome certain things. But these guys, I mean, don't get me wrong, they ride hurt and they ride jacked up.
Yeah.
But like to ignore pebbles coming at you like that, man. That's a lot. That's concentration, bro. For 23 laps or whatever.
Yeah.
Cut down.
I mean, but everybody had the same problem, so
yeah,
it was kind of unfair throughout.
Right.
So
okay, all right, that's what's up.
But my surprise initially was I was shocked, but it was a fluke. But I think it was Friday. Toprak was like in third place, I think.
Yeah. With the mixed conditions, he was up there.
Yeah, that's why. Because like I was saying, like last year, that when he comes this year, I would say he's going to be between like between 13th and 17th place, but I didn't see him doing much.
Right.
So when I saw him doing, I'm like, wow, god damn, okay, I'm wrong. But then it dried up. Then he kind of became what I thought he was going to become, just kind of a guy, So
that's not well. I mean, yeah, fair enough. I'll let you. We'll dissect that.
Okay, I'm sorry. Just a guy in MotoGP.
No. But I mean, he's still a phenomenal rider.
Yeah.
Like I'll be just a guy in MotoGP.
No, we won't. No, we wouldn't be. We'd be lapped in 3 laps, right?
That's what I'm saying. I'll be just a guy. That's what I'm saying. You know what I'm saying? You mean that for us, but Tyson, man, what are your thoughts about Brazil, man? I mean, do you think that they should have kept Argentina, even though Argentina didn't want to spend any money on the facility? Brazil did, but I mean, after this weekend, I do want to see receipts.
Yeah, I mean, we both raced at Loudon. I mean, for track conditions, I didn't think that was crazy terrible, but
right.
It is a bad look for the premier class of racing. Like you and I going out there and having a race day, like, okay, just live with it. It's a track. We've seen similar kind of thing.
Yeah.
But to see that like on the big stage, and as you're saying earlier with like injuries and stuff like that, like the seasons are longer now with the sprint races and even more weekends that like, do you really want to be like breaking some guy's finger round 2 because the track was literally just degrading as they were riding it? So
right.
I'm kind of in between. I don't necessarily care. I think it's a bad look for the general sort of public and that kind of deal. But I didn't think it was that end of the world. But I did think the race was. I didn't manage to catch much of the other sessions. I was busy this weekend, but I did catch the race, and I'm really excited for the championship as a whole and the rest of the season. But that race in general, I thought was kind of boring to a degree.
Really?
Like,
okay.
Yeah. I mean, I liked seeing Marco out there up front. Like, good for him. He's earned it. I hope he wins the championship this year. It would be good to see the Aprilia go across there. But other than that, I was expecting more. How about that? Like, not necessarily it was boring. I just thought there would be more tight racing and pushing, but I get it with the track basically
right
breaking apart. That makes it hard. So
it sounds like you were disappointed with Ducati.
I mean, I certainly was disappointed with Ducati. I've been disappointed for the first 2 races. Like,
yeah.
I expect a little bit more, especially after the season they had. Like, I figured that would have lit a fire under them to like, all right, let's make sure we put the nail in the coffin and Aprilia knows who's the top dogs, and It does not seem like they did that.
No, I agree. What are your thoughts, Jordan, on that? I mean, you guys watched the race. Aprilia seemed to have it figured out. Acosta with KTM. Digia, I think, saved Ducati this past weekend, even though Marquez won the sprint race. I think if Digia didn't make the mistake, he wouldn't have won the sprint race, I think, because he only made one mistake. What are your thoughts, Jordan?
I agree. Digi had a really good start. Wouldn't have the best start, but he had a really good start. His pace was really in time, so I was really expecting him to kind of almost pull away. But like I said, it was not say mixed conditions at that point in time in the sprint, but they were still dialing in like 1 or 2 last little minute things. And like I said, with everything being pushed back with. I wasn't going to talk about it, but I mean, we can't talk about it because obviously it is a talking point. The sinkholes, that blew up in the middle of the freaking track is kind of like, okay, what are we doing with this? But I mean, for a semi-new track, we haven't been there in 22 years. When we finally get there, they get new asphalt, they get a whole new, presentation, a whole new thing for the track. And for something like this to happen, it's almost, you have to look at the surrounding areas. You're in a rainforest, so you're going to have soft and hard packs and stuff like that. And, the ground is constantly moving where you're at. So, I mean, it is what it is. Not say it is what it is, but it is the area that you live in.
Right.
So to have a sinkhole and for them to fix it, patch it, get everything going on the same day within literally a matter of hours and keep the show going, kudos to them. Kudos to them for making that happen. And like I said, they had a lot going on that even Smitty talked about. They had a lot kind of going on that they wasn't expecting. But they I think they did a really good job, and the racing wasn't that bad. They just locked off, was it 6-7 laps? But it was still good, hard racing from Moto3 all the way to MotoGP. And like I said, for me, it was exciting because I was looking at everything. I was looking at everybody. I wish I had my notes because I just got in from running around. But man, it was some good, tight racing almost all around. Nobody was walking away besides one person, which
Right.
you know, we'll talk about. But yeah, you know, Bezzecchi,
It does sound like you're saying so. Don't give a Ducati a hard time because the surface may have
they made mistakes.
in
They
their
keep on. I don't know if they keep on overextending themselves with. I don't know if the bike. I wouldn't say the track conditions, but they keep on overextending themselves to where they're trying to do too much instead of settling in. You know, Mark is going to be Mark, and you know, and God bless everybody else on Ducatis, everybody else on freaking Ducatis. You know, they doing good, but they're trying to like catch what Aprilia has finally starting to put down. And you know, God bless Honda, Smitty.
Don't worry, next year, them 800s, man, I'm telling you.
But, I mean, right about now, Aprilia has put it down. They've been talking about it for years. Once they was able to get a rider to master it like Stoner mastered Honda, now you got to catch them.
Okay, all right. I would have said Stoner mastered Ducati, but you know, a lot of people mastered that Honda, man. A long list of champions on Honda.
But I remember that Valentino said once Stoner got on the Honda, he didn't say the Ducati, but on the Honda, he was going to win 5 more. He left. He left early. He could have stayed on it. He left early, but he could have won 5 on Honda.
Yeah. I mean, Marquez took a spot, I think. What are your thoughts on Ducati, Smitty? I know you're a Honda guy, like Jordan just says. I mean, are you buying what Jordan is saying that the track made the Ducatis ride a little bit more safer, turn down the temperature a little bit, or they all had the same condition? So come on,
that kind of sounds like Ducati bias, you know. It's like somehow Ducati's the only bike that track affected, you know. Like all the other guys got 2-wheel drive or something, you know. Come on, man. They got front-wheel drive motorcycles now, except for Ducati, right?
Hey man, let's see, you can put a little electronic motor on the front wheel, man. You never know.
Something, man. And Ducati's the only guy that the track somehow affected. Stop it, man. Come on.
Cool.
Cut the shit, man.
So you're thinking that they're slipping. I mean, it's only the second round.
I won't say slipping because they're still, you know, freaking Mark and Digi ran a great race, you know, during the sprint.
Well, I mean, the sprint is iffy because they don't really count the sprint. Like you hear the riders talk, and the sprint is just kind of like qualifying the times. I'm like, dude, it's a race you won, but it's like it's the race that they care more to win than the sprint.
But I mean, it's still a good bike. But it's not. I mean, but they somehow just kept getting better and better and better and better, and it's showing like the past, like even last year, towards the end of last year, it's like, yo, this bike is no joke, you know, and they kind of surpassed Ducati. So, but Ducati's still a great number 2 bike now, but it's not, you know, what it was when Pecco was winning and all the other guys were winning before. So,
yeah, I mean, listen, we had a good run. I was balling about it last year, even though we won the championship, and you know, like I sounded like Danny Pedrosa when he was saying, you know, I need more grip, and everybody else was like, Mark is winning, everything is fine. And so, you know, you know, I feel bad for Ducati. I mean, I was going to say, you know, Bez and Martino 1 and 2 in the championship, Di Antonio and Marquez 3 and 4. Tyson, what are your thoughts on Ducati, where they're at right now? Too soon to tell. Gravel, too much gravel, or you know, it's like the Patriots or the Bulls. It's just you know, a changing of the guards.
I mean, it's certainly a changing of the guards. I think it's the beginning of that. I mean, we see this all the time in, you know, racing. Like, when does a team slowly start dropping off and the team picks up, and that original team is like, actually, no, I'm going to keep going with this. Like, you know, one team goes up and then they go down as the other team goes up. So My guess is probably the beginning of the changing of the guards, but for me, it just seems like 2025 Ducati, but Mark's hurt.
Right.
Like, he definitely seemed a little hesitant, tentative in the first race of the year, and I saw a little bit more of that in this race as well.
Right.
I don't think the conditions helped. I think he figured, like, I'm already kind of hurt, and it's pretty nasty out here, so, like, let's just bring this thing home in a good spot. But, I mean, none of the other Ducatis were, doing crazy. I mean, Digit is a good rider, and he did get third, but, like, where's Pecco, Mark, or Alex? All these other guys are not really blowing anybody else out of the water. So
yeah, I mean that's the unfortunate side. I mean, like I said, I've been yelling about this for a little bit. Do you guys think that Ducati can turn this around? I mean, we saw at least it was. I mean, again, we'll see what Digia is not Alex Marquez of last year, so we need more data to sit here and say, he can do what the Marquez brothers did last year. Like him and Mark could do that. It's tough to say what Pecco is going to do because testing was really well. It seems like there's just the bike is what it is, and I can't say it's the rider at this point. But do you guys think that they can figure it out before the summer break?
Well, it depends on what you mean. Figure things out. You mean become the best bike on the grid? I would say no.
Yeah, man, the dominance that they had from
it's gone. Listen, just like F1, right?
Like what I'm saying, all the trophies, man.
It's gone. Listen, everybody has their run. Honda had their run, on with the early Rossi years. Yamaha had their run. Ducati had their run. Now it's Aprilia's turn. It's that simple. It's like F1. Mercedes had it during the Hamilton era. Red Bull had it with Max Verstappen. Last year was Lando Norris and McLaren. And right now it seems like the Mercedes got it back.
Ferrari,
everything just comes.
Ferraris, man. The Ferrari's looking good, man. Come on.
Yeah, them too. But and GP same thing. Every guy has their run except KTM. They ain't had their run yet, so
they're broke.
All right. So you're saying they can't steal this season. They can't steal the championship this year. You're ready to say that they're not going. You think if Aprilia stays healthy, they're 1 and 2, and if all the riders stay healthy,
I would say yes. Healthy. Yeah, because I mean, you would think that Ducati gets better, but guess what? They all get better, so it kind of stays the same. Aprilia gets better throughout the year, so does Ducati, so does Honda. But if they're still the best bike right now and they all get better, it stays where it is. The pecking order.
All right. Jordan,
and that happens every year.
So you're saying Aprilia all the way, Jordan, and that they're gonna take it. That's where you're going.
I'm more or less.
Let's talk about what they did in the race, right? I mean, Martin looked good from the first round, and they did 3 and 4 in the sprint and 1 and 2 in the main race. I mean, that's pretty impressive.
Yeah, and I believe that not to say that Ducati's going to make a comeback. I agree a little bit with Smitty said. It's like if Aprilia keeps on going up, then Ducati figures out some things, and Aprilia keeps on figuring things out. And then, like I said, the pecking order may stay the same, but like I said, it's really any given Sunday.
Right.
We talked about the sprints, sprints actually still do count as points.
Yes.
Even though, yes, it's not Sunday points, but they still count as points. So even if you don't have a good Sunday, who knows? Your Saturday may save your championship. So not to say it's completely outputted or you can't really or not really going to put it off, but definitely everyone's looking for Sunday because that's where a lot of everything counts. That's where a lot of points are going to be counting. That's where a lot of sponsorships are looking at. Is for that Sunday ride. So I think it could stay the same if everybody stays healthy and if all the tracks are immaculate. Right. And everything works out like, Jesus comes down and touch every rider, any given Sunday is going to happen. So I mean, it's really a matter of if they can figure something out that another team hasn't figured out. They may use some cheat code that Marquez may pull out and go dart off in the daggone tents again and throw everybody else off again, and then be like, "What are we doing? What are we doing? What's going on?" So I mean, it's really dependent on what's going to happen. But I'm glad to really see that MotoGP is really making a big staple here in the States. I don't know if everybody saw that they're making a big announcement, what they did in New York, and who knows what they're going to do in Texas. But I'm really glad they're actually making a real big effort to spread MotoGP here in the States.
I like that as well. And we'll touch on Coda in a little bit. Tyson, I mean, what are your thoughts on Aprilia? I mean, you had Bez, Martin, and Agura all doing well on those bikes. I mean, were you surprised in before the qualifying where Bez, it looked like he was struggling, it looked like he wasn't going to have the weekend he had? Was you surprised that they were able to turn around that? Because normally when the weekend starts out bad, they don't really pull it off to where, you know, you're second on the grid and you're winning the race from start.
I mean, yeah, it was certainly a surprise, especially him and Martin running up there into first and second. But I wouldn't say it's like a massive one. Like, I definitely think they are probably slightly the best bike on the grid. They look like their riders have the easiest time riding fast on their bikes.
Crazy. That's crazy to think, right? A couple of years ago when Aleix was mad that the clutch wouldn't hook up.
Yeah, and it is a complete shock. But I mean, we could have said the same thing about Ducati in 2020, 2018, 2019. Like, can you believe a Ducati isn't easy to ride and everyone loves it? Like, for the longest time, they were the worst, most unruly bike on the grid. But yeah, I'm not totally surprised. I mean, they showed it in the last couple races of last year. They seem to really figure out and, you know, get into a step with it, with their bike and their riders. But I'm still worried about, like, Marquez. Like, I don't think this championship is over. Like, I mean, obviously it's only the second round, but like, I definitely think their competition is Marquez. If he can get healthy and start riding like he did last year, I mean, like, the only difference between the Ducatis versus the Aprilias this year is that Marquez is not at the top. All the rest of them are basically in the spots where they were last year, roughly. So,
No,
Gian Antonio was a little bit further down, even last year and the year before that. Mark Marquez was pretty much, you know, where he was usually at. Alex was kind of fluctuating a little bit in the middle, but he was around 5th, 6th, 7th.
I feel like Alex is reverting to the mean here. Unfortunately, like, I would like to see him back at the top like he did last year, but it feels like that is how it's going to play out this year.
Well, you know, be careful what you ask for, right? You want the new bike. You see Morbidelli on a 24 still, and you see Furman on a 24 bike, you know, so he's on a 26 bike, and Pecco, even though it sounds like it seems like the bike is better than a 25 bike. I think he's struggling a little bit as well. And I think, you know, Pecco is struggling with Digia figured it out this weekend, but, you know, one weekend is not enough, as we saw that with Pecco last year. I think in Japan, I think it was when he won one of the only races he won last year.
In the West, he won that one, he won that one in the West. Yeah, you're right.
You know what I mean? So it'll be interesting to see. But again, we'll see after Coda, because Coda is a track. But we're going to jump into Coda in a little bit. Let's talk about we'll talk about Honda, because Smitty's here. It's interesting because I think the mixed conditions jacked up the Honda, because like they were steadily. I mean, I still think they're the third best bike on the grid as far as manufacturers. I think they're definitely over KTM and Yamaha at this point.
You can say that and you aren't wrong, but the gap between second and third is so far. It's like it doesn't really matter. It's like you have one and two, and then, you know, 3, 4, and 5 after that. So it's like, yeah, it's third place, but like it's a far third place.
Especially with all those Ducatis.
And then it crashing out both races.
I'm trying to look where they qualified. I mean, you know, like a half a second behind.
Half a second.
But
that was the biggest gap. That was the biggest gap out of like all 10 of them, was a half a second.
Yeah.
So like I said, everybody else like a 10th off, a millisecond off, but that half gap in 4th and 5th, that was the biggest gap.
You know, so I mean, it's we can debate about the gap. Third place is third place. I'll give them that. But I think they're in the position to. I don't know if they'll finish second in the season, but I think they can maintain this position. And I think that if Mir can stay up, and it seems like they got some technical gremlins on in the bike this past weekend as well. What do you thought? You finish talking what you're saying, Smitty, about Honda. I mean, do you feel like they can? Win this year? I think they can win. Do you think they can win this year?
To win has to be like a rain race, honestly.
Sorry,
but a dry race, I don't see it happening. I'm being, realistic. I don't see it happening.
Okay, really?
But beat who? Bez on the Predator beat Marquez.
Honda has one on Coda with Renz on it.
Yeah, but that was like 2 years ago.
Maybe 3. Yeah,
right.
yeah, 3 years, but still the one.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Zarco's figuring it out.
Didn't Marquez crash that race?
I don't remember. I don't remember if he's crashed out or not. So
he crashed that Coda.
He was injured.
I'm not sure it was last year or the year before. But
he crashed on the Ducati, but he was injured when Renz won.
Okay, that's why.
Listen, man, we show up and you finish, and that's what happened. You can't.
Everybody wins when.
I mean, you can't say Michael Jordan won because Dr. J and Russell wasn't playing. Can't do that, man.
True.
All right. So
so Honda, look,
yeah. Go ahead.
I'm just waiting, for next year for them to win something, man.
So you're thinking 850s where the Honda will shine. All right. Okay. What are your thoughts, Jordan, on Honda? I mean, you're gonna trade in that R6 for a Honda?
No.
I played the new Ride 6, and when I raced the 600 class, it's a 24 Honda I'm racing.
Yeah, it's a good bike, man. In the video game.
Yeah, the video game, yeah, perfect.
I don't know why, but it is. I'm like, what?
Video game.
I'm riding the same one.
Yeah, I don't know what's up. What are your thoughts, Jordan?
I think Honda, they've got, I'm not saying they've got some work to do. They're making things move. They're making progress. Where they're going to beat Aprilia and everybody else, probably not. Are they going to stay where they're at? Hopefully not. Like I said, I would like to see them move and shaking outside of a wet race.
Gotcha.
I'm really tired of seeing them doing decent on a wet race. So hopefully they're able to figure some stuff out and be able to drive down on that Honda. That was the last time I did anything with Zarco. That was 2 years ago.
Mir got on the podium end of last year. Yeah.
At the end.
Come on. Listen here, Smitty Jr. Come on, don't do that, man.
Everything was already settled. Everything was settled. No one cared about it anymore. It was kind of like, let them have one.
You have a point there. I was going to bring up the Nokia part. Tyson, man. I mean, do you think that these manufacturers may, call it a season, and just wait for the new era? Because it's kind of like we got 20 more rounds to go, and then we have new bikes. How much effort should we put in to get to how far? Because at the end of the day, even if they finish 3 or 4 in the title, Honda, they still gonna, is the effort worth it?
My guess is probably the only teams actually developing their bikes this year are Ducati and Aprilia, because they're fighting for the championship. The rest of them, I guarantee, are just banking on the next regs. And any money that they have, they're going to be spending on the next regs, without a doubt. It's the same thing in Formula One. All these other sort of, racing series, they all do the same thing. Tank it for the next season and, restart. So I think they have a good bike, though, Honda. I definitely think they could get a podium or potentially a win. Maybe. It's a hard maybe on a dry track, as the other guys were saying. But, they seem to do pretty well in Japan and Malaysia, and I could see it at some of the tracks. But
yeah. I think they did Silverstone and the French Open, French Grand Prix. Different.
Yeah, but that Silverstone and the French race were definitely interesting. There was other factors at play that they kind of won on and got those finishes. So
Right. But I mean, Honda's like the Lakers or the Celtics. No, we shouldn't tank, right? We shouldn't tank. I mean, we should show up. And I mean, I think Honda has the most world titles as a manufacturer.
Yeah, I can definitely see them I can see teams using this bike as a test mule for next season, and then if it works for the season, great. I'm sure Honda will work on this bike of a little bit throughout the season, but I guarantee the lion's share of whatever resources they have and budget is going into next year. Yeah. Same thing with KTM, same thing with Yamaha. They're not investing in this year. I mean, why would you? As you were saying, if your best bet is third, why would you invest all that money just to get third when you might get first next year?
I agree.
For the fans, man. For the fans.
Yeah.
Quick question. Tyson, you said something about, or I think it was Rexy said something about world titles. Aprilia got 54. Doesn't Ducati have 74?
World Superbike. We're talking about MotoGP.
Yeah.
Okay. So Aprilia, I know, has 13, if I remember right, 13 GP titles.
MotoGP titles?
MotoGP. So I know they got the 250.
500cc.
They got
500cc, right? I'm saying the 500 and 250s. They've got 7.
Yeah, they might have the 250, but not the 500.
They got the Millie. I know they got the Millie and something else. I thought they had 3 at least with those.
Listen, man. See the 2 fingers, hit that keyboard, do that search, and give it them numbers.
I'm on
it. So we can get it right. But I don't. From looking at when we did the old series over the break, I don't think they got the 5. I think they got. I definitely
500cc and MotoGP. They have 0.
Yeah.
Okay.
Honda's the most with 21. Then MV Agusta with 18, and Yamaha with 18.
Yeah.
Tyson with his cherry buttons.
I was yes. No, they're actually MX Browns.
Oh yeah, okay. Okay. I was close.
Nice. All right, let's talk about Yamaha, because and I posed this on the last show last week, because I was like, is it possible for Quartararo to get on the pole? And there was some doubt, but when I saw him, I don't know if he got on pole for a second, but I was just like, he might do it. I mean, but let's talk about Honda, the efforts he's putting in, even though he's not happy, because I mean, he's putting in effort for a guy who wants out.
He started off really good.
Honda, right? You said Honda.
I'm sorry, my bad.
He said Honda, but I know he went Yamaha.
I mean, look, he during the race, I think he made it to 3rd place. Then each lap he dropped down 1 position.
On the sprint, yeah.
Next lap,
yeah.
And I don't know why, but the bike, it's something that I never understood. How does a bike lose pace during the race?
It's grip. I think it's grip. I think the Yamaha. I can't say Honda, but the Yamaha. I think he's losing grip. But also, I'm no MotoGP rider, but I remember when I went from racing a twin in this SV650 and having a twin bike on the street, as a rider, and then going to the inline 4, and it took me a whole season to get up to speed on the inline 4, to the point where I even had to get a street inline 4 just to get seat time in.
You mean having enough grip?
I just wasn't comfortable, letting that bike scream at 15,000 RPMs. I didn't know what that was like. Felt like I was doing it, so I had to get used to that. So is it part like he has to just get used to the V4?
But it's the same thing last year and the year before.
Differently though, you know what I'm saying? Because he's gonna have more mid, and it seems like Rins is using the power better than Quartararo, even though Quartararo got a better grip position. But what are your thoughts on Yamaha overall, man?
I mean, Yamaha had the same problem they had for the past 3, 4, 5 years. They're down on power. It's that simple.
Okay. On the straight, some guys just blow by him every time, and he'll catch him maybe in turn 1, turn 2, and dance a little bit. Then they get yarded every time. So it seems like, I'm saying, there wasn't that blow by this time. I mean, what I'm saying? I mean, maybe Quartararo is breaking late as ever, but it wasn't like it wasn't in prior years. I mean, you know what I'm saying? Mark wasn't like pulling away from Quartararo on the straight.
No, but he
Oh,
fell back
sure.
one spot
Oh,
every
well,
lap, it seemed like.
you know, listen,
So-
yeah, but that could be something else. But
Okay, fair enough.
what are your thoughts, Jordan, on Yamaha and why Quartararo could fall back? 'Cause sometimes it could just be mental, man. Maybe he's over the bike and it's just like, or like, why continue? It's just I'm just gonna get more frustrated.
I think it's a combination of what both you guys said. It was definitely grip, because I can see him actually losing grip when he was actually leaning in. I think it was turn 3 to where on the right side. It's like I could see a little bit of chatter. It wasn't a lot, but I see a little bit of chatter as he was entering in. So obviously he was losing grip and he was coming wide in a lot of turns. I think it was 3, 7. I can't remember. I think it was 9 also, 9 or 11. He was just getting a little bit of chatter, was coming in wide. But like you said, also, I think he hasn't really come to grips completely, like you said, with that V4. It does take some time to understand the power that you have now underneath you. And he never really had like a full season of testing. He only had a couple rounds of testing. And, you know, even when he was doing testing, I believe he was bouncing back and forth. And another thing that I wanted to bring up was the aerodynamics. There's a couple of teams that's
I don't know why he did it, but it looked like he did it. I will let Jordan come back in when he comes back in and finish what he's going to say. But to piggyback on what he was talking about, as far as, you know, saying there's a couple of things, Tyson, could it be mental as well? Because last year, Acosta, you know, he said this year, but last year when he came into the season, he wanted to win right away, and he was just, you know, win or get mad. Does Quartararo need to, you know, take some, you know, meditation, something, just to come in with a clean slate instead of, you know, the past couple of years?
I mean, it could help him for sure. It's not going to hurt, but I just think that Yamaha is just terrible. Like, where'd he end up? Did he crash out? No, I'm looking at qualifying here. But
I think he's
I mean, all those Yamahas are just kind of sitting in sort of the same spot, which would give me like my impression would be that's just the performance of the bike, you know, especially when
in the sprint.
He was in 6th in the sprint, and then he was 12th. He was 16th in the race. Yeah. So like, I mean, it just seems like the performance of the bike. I mean, he was doing this last year where he would be 15th one race, and then the next race he had pole and fighting for 3rd, 4th, and as Jordan was saying, just slowly getting, or Smitty maybe was saying, is slowly eaten away by just slightly quicker guys behind him. And he just reminds me of Honda on the Ducati at the end of his career. Just not the Ducati, sorry, on the Honda. Just, you know, riding the piss out of the thing and getting whatever he can, but just not having the support to do more than that. Right.
I agree. I mean, one thing we can say is that, I mean, you know, the KTMs look pretty bad. You know, they outside of Costa, the rest of those guys suffered. I mean, it's pretty wild to see what KTM is going through right now. Are you guys surprised? We'll start with Smitty. You surprised at how Maverick is suffering? And I mean, it's kind of, you know, that we saw the whole Lorenzo team
training thing,
and to have it completely fall apart. I mean, did Lorenzo lose all his clients after this? You know, what are your thoughts on KTM, man? And I mean, Acosta looks great, and it sounds like he's going to be our 46 Academy next year or the factory.
But it's like I said, earlier, you have Aprilia, Ducati, then everybody else,
Honda,
and the KTM is just not a good bike. And I think Acosta is overachieving on the bike. He's just that good. So Maverick, his summertime new training regimen with Lorenzo and all that stuff he's doing, I mean, he's still just Maverick, you know.
Oh, don't do that, man. I mean,
no. Listen, he'll surprise you. He'll surprise you one weekend, qualify on the front row, and then just fall back. In the next couple of races, he's in 10th place again. So it's just a bad bike, you know. Honestly.
Yeah. Okay, I hear that. We'll talk to Tyson. I mean, we said that a lot of people said that last year Martin should have, kept his mouth shut on certain things. We over the past weekend or week, I saw stuff in social media where, Vinales is saying, he regret what happened with Yamaha, but not with Aprilia. I mean, should these riders know not to just speak ill in public? Say what you want around your family or friends and stuff like that. But, at some point, you could get yourself in trouble if you're trying to stay into the paddock. And this sport is very cutthroat as far as like, if you go wrong, they isolate you. Like, some could say that happened to Joe Roberts. But what are your thoughts about KTM and if you want to add a little bit about Vinales and maybe not saying too much, but sometimes, you don't want to burn those bridges, right?
Yeah, I mean, just on that point there, I mean, when there's only so many manufacturers and teams, like you really cannot afford to burn a bridge in the industry. But devil's advocate on that is my guess would be it's just like their only attempt to try to fix things. Like they've tried to fix it in the team, they've tried to do express this, express that, and then they're just kind of like fed up with it and they're lashing out maybe in the media, hoping that that'll get a good reaction from the team for them. But I doubt it ever works out that way. It probably just, all these guys have big egos and they probably don't see it that way, and it sours them on a relationship. Look at Martin. He's got beef with now Ducati, and who signed him on originally? Honda?
KTM.
KTM?
He left
Yeah.
signed with Ducati in GP.
And didn't KTM say they would never hire him ever again after like what he pulled going in?
I think so. I think so. I think, and now with Ducati as well. I mean, I don't know if Ducati will take him back but Ducati was already like, we're out anyway. I mean, I think Ducati put Martin in a bad position because he earned the right to get a factory seat. He earned the right to at least get a. He should have got the 2-year factory seat deal. And Ducati still would have won a championship. That's we know the bike was really good, so we didn't need Marquez on the bike. It was one time you didn't need the best rider on the bike to win.
Yeah, agreed.
But
the KTM, I think they're fighting for the worst bike on the grid right now. Like, I mean, we are only 2 weeks in. Like, things can change here. It's a long season, but from what I'm seeing right now, it's really like Yamaha and KTM are fighting for who has the worst bike, and it's kind of sad because KTM started, and no one really had high hopes for them, and they started like gaining a lot of progress in their first couple of years in MotoGP, and then they seemed to hit a plateau. What was it, like 22, maybe 23, and they've seemed like they've taken every next season after that was a step down. And I really think probably their financial situation with the parent company is probably a big reason for that. My guess, my guess is they had problems. I mean, we probably know they have problems for years before that, and they were just getting less and less and less support. And then once the bankruptcy, system took over, like it's just even less now. So I definitely think that is what is hindering them.
Yeah, when you used to just writing checks, and then all of a sudden you got someone to answer to. And they're like, we know what you did, so you're not signing any checks. And then with Tech 3, having a Formula One guy come in and say, how much money we got in here? All right, this is only a 1-year thing. We're giving you tires. And that's a tough situation for a rider, for an employee of any company, when companies are bought and the top make changes and it trickles down and it's numbers, and it's all numbers because they don't know the people. So it's all numbers that they're looking at. They don't know these people, and they come in and change. And as a rider, you're hearing it or you're in the meetings and knowing about it, but you still have to come out here and act like, cancer is growing in the organization.
Yeah. I'm sure it's very frustrating. And I'm sure from their perspective too, like, some of these guys, they're watching it happen and they're watching their team become less and less desirable to, sponsors, other riders. And it's just a snowball of like, just keep getting worse and worse and worse because you're doing worse and you're now going to be worse, and keep doing that. And it's going to keep going unless someone really, my guess would be they'd have to inject a lot of cash into the company or into the team to actually get them to turn around.
Right. Or a few people got to break some rules and say, we're not listening.
Well, I mean, if you don't have the money, it doesn't matter how much you don't want to listen. Like if I only have $1 million, I can't spend $10 million.
Right.
No,
So-
no doubt, no doubt. You know, we can allocate something. We can, eat cornflakes instead of whatever they have for breakfast.
Filet mignon.
Let's talk about this weekend coming up in Coda. Like Jordan said earlier, we saw the VR46 with their cool, for lack of a better word, USA livery.
It was cool.
It very cool, very cool. I'm a fan
Very
of
different. I
yellow.
liked it.
So that's that. I'm a fan of VR46 Academy, and you didn't like what they did. Okay, all right.
Curmudgeon.
I mean, if you're gonna do it something like that, then emulate. Like they did with the Brazil. They did the Brazilian colors, the green, the yellow. They incorporated that stuff, and it what it was for. The livery they did with VR46 was just kind of like a hodgepodge. It was just, I saw one area of the tank that had American flag on it, but everything else is like, point out to me where it says America, USA, have like the Alamo, or not say Eiffel Tower, but Lady Liberty or something that emulates USA, not just the Stars and Stripes, everyone knows that, but emulate the gist of it, not just a hodgepodge of colors. And I didn't like it.
Okay.
Sorry.
All right. What are your thoughts, Smitty?
Well, my thoughts in general on this weekend is, okay, so I'm torn. Two things I want to see happen. Like, I enjoy seeing history being made, right? And Bez so far has led the most laps consecutive in combined races. I think if Bez leads this race from lap 1 to the end, he'll break that record, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I do want to see that happen. However, I'm a huge Marc Marquez fan, so I want to see Marc Marquez get a win also, so I don't know, but I'm looking forward to something happening good this week.
All right, okay.
Either
glad he
Bez
finally broke the
take away
record.
and lead 5 straight races from flag to flag, which is impressive, or Marquez, become Marquez again, one of those two.
All right. So you have no. I'm trying to get a photo of delivery, but
No, I saw it. I like it, because it's colorful, it's wild, it's bright, it stands out. And sometimes we're so caught up in our old ways of, hey, thing has to be this one solid color with a couple logos. Like, why? Have fun with it. You know what I'm saying?
I like the logos.
Yeah,
I don't mind the logos, but like I said, what they did with the Brazil one, that was Brazil colors. With us, all we really have is the red, white, and blue. So I mean, if they would have had something emulating just America in general, I guess, like I said, it doesn't have to be everything, but just highlight some stuff, and then instead of it just being,
Are they the only ones doing a special livery?
Yeah.
I'm not sure.
Okay.
Sometimes they bring it out on race day like a surprise, but I don't know.
Well, my thought was just maybe someone else is doing like the Stars and Stripes, red, white, and blue kind of thing, and they're like, well, we can't have 2 red, white, and blue bikes.
That's it. Yeah, it's cool as shit, man. I like it.
But what does it say? Does it say America? Does it say America anywhere? No, it has a little
Valentino
bit on the tank.
Right, and that's what he does.
Yeah, it has a little bit of red, white, and blue by the
tank,
and that's pretty much about it. So if they would have did some graffiti, that's something that America, really emulated.
There's some graffiti on that. The tank has the U.S. flag on it.
Right.
There's some artistic stuff on it. I mean, I get what you're saying. I mean, but they're Italians. I mean, I don't,
So when it becomes Brazil, they can just paint it green and yellow, and that's it.
Yeah, but I think that it was green. I mean, they did what is it, Barrow's livery color, right? That's what they did, right? So they did something that was done a while back, and so for that, that's respectful. So, but I mean, I have no problems with the color on it, but I think Joe Roberts will do the American thing, theme.
He always has, because he got because he got the what's his name, not the OnlyFans, but the other team, American Racing. They're always red, white, and blue. So they're always red, white, and blue. That's what I'm saying. Kind of change it up a little bit so that it's not emulating American racing, but definitely stand out. That
it has a star on it for the Lone State, the Lone Star State. So, I mean, I think
Puerto Rico.
it's definitely more Texas than it is. Come on, man, don't do that. Hey, we'll leave it for a different show. All right. So, what are your thoughts, Tyson, on the livery?
I like the special liveries. I've been teased with Red Bull liveries my whole life, and so whenever one ever makes it into a race, I'm excited. So, I mean, it is what it is. It's not my bike. I'm not riding it. I don't run the team. Looks cool.
Yeah, and I'm not quite sure why Rossi would have done it. I mean, versus another team, but I can see Marquez doing it, right? Because he's won so many times at Coda and stuff like that. But in any case, I mean, it's cool to see.
I would expect Marquez to have something like that. Like I said, because technically right now he's still the king of Coda, so right. I would think that he would do some like a Texas theme on his motorcycle. But like I said, I don't know if Ducati wanted to do that or not.
Yeah, we'll see. It's tricky when you're sitting in that factory seat. What do you guys expect to see this weekend? I mean, you just said Marquez king of Coda. Do you think that it's going to be Marquez figuring it out? Do you think that the Aprilia will continue to just stretch out the field, but continue to do what they're doing? What do you expect to see this weekend, Smitty?
What I expect is Bez to do what he does again, honestly. Because Marquez is still hurt anyway, so, he's not back to his normal self yet. But Bez, he's riding on another level that we've never seen before, honestly. So I think it'd be Bez, number one.
Right.
Maybe Marquez or Digi, number two, Then Martin.
Okay. That's what's up.
Probably a Honda in fourth or fifth with Acosta on his KTM right there. So my picks is, like I said, Bez, Marquez, Digi, Acosta, and Mir. Okay.
All right. I like that. What are you thinking, Jordan? What do you expect? Who you picking to win?
I'm checking the weather right now.
Okay.
I'm checking the weather right about now. It's really going to come down to that. Yeah. I mean, with Marquez being the king of Coda, I'm not going to really write him out. You almost really can't write him out. But that's the only time he hasn't won at Coda when it was raining.
So he crashed. That's why.
Well, that's what I'm saying. So that's the only time he hasn't won at Coda is when it was raining. So other than that, who are you going to write out?
True.
Was it raining last year?
It was sprinkling, wasn't it?
I think it did sprinkle, but he crashed. That was the only time he crashed.
All right, just checking. All right, what are your thoughts, Tyson? It seems like it's Marquez, but we're gonna break it up a little bit, right?
Yeah, I definitely hope to see Mark at the top, but I feel like it should definitely be a good sort of litmus test for the rest of the grid as well. I mean, they've all got a bunch of experience at Coda, and so do all the teams. So like they probably have setups dialed in for it, and everyone's probably going to go off right from the beginning. But I definitely think it'd probably be a fight between Mark and Marco Bezzecchi. But yeah, I don't know who else would be up there. It'd be cool to see Fabio too. He had a pretty bad year last year, so I think Gian Antonio, him doing well this year is good to see as well. It sucks to see like a good rider and then they have a shit year and then another one and then another one and they're out, and it's like, they just got unlucky and got bit. But
yeah, okay, all right, yeah. I mean, I'll say Bez, and Bez. I mean Bez.
Bez.
1, 2, 3. He doesn't go so fast.
Right.
I'll say Bez, Martin, and I'll throw Marquez out there because you can't, like Jordan said, you can't rule him out at all. And Gian Antonio is coming off a second place and a third place. So anything is possible. And I think once they have the Ducati dialed in for him, and we saw that in 2024, he can do well. And so for him to be already on the podium in the second race of the season, even though he had a crappy time in the first round, it's good to see because usually he's been coming on later in the year. So I think that Gian Antonio got an option. Obviously, Acosta, he's still hungry, and anything is possible. Ogura, I'm not going to rule him out. I don't know what happened to Raul, but Raul did well enough from end of last season to the first round that. I mean, you got to give all, as you guys said earlier, you kind of have to give them the riders a pass because of Brazil and the condition. So, I mean, I think all four Aprilias has a chance. I think that at least 3 Ducatis got a shot, and 2 Hondas, 1 KTM. So it's tough, right, to see that, because you would think one of the things that bugs me is that the manufacturers don't give the riders all the same equipment, and it's contingent on how they're performing. And it's like, I got to perform good on a bad stuff before I can get good stuff. It's like, if you want all your riders to be competitive, just give them all the same stuff, and that's what Ducati was doing. So it's weird where with Honda, 2 of the guys are getting stuff, but Zarco wasn't getting stuff last year. It's just like, give all these guys the right tools so they can go out there and bring your brand, 1 step or 2 step closer. I don't know if there's rules in FIM or whatever the case may be that say they have to do it, but it's one of those things that would you're killing riders by making them ride with tools that aren't as good as the guy on the next Honda.
Kind of, but it's like, if that's the case, then is it really a factory team if they all have the same stuff?
I mean, at this point,
that's the whole point, to separate the factory teams from the satellite teams.
Well, put it like this: if I'm Zarco and I got a factory contract, which he didn't have this year, but last year he had a factory contract. Mm-hmm. If I'm Furman and I got a factory contract, I'm not on a factory bike. Why can't I get factory parts if I got the factory contract?
If you're on a factory team, yeah, exactly.
But he got the contract, so at least give him the parts. Yeah. And it's not like he's on a different manufacturer. You know what I'm saying? Right. But I get it. Once upon a time, they separated the satellite teams versus the factories. But since 2020, the lines have kind of been blurred, right?
Okay.
Are we still doing our guesstimation for the race?
I thought you did that. Did you not come up?
I was just kind of chiming in. I want to say Furman, Bezzecchi, Giantonio. Okay. That's what I want to say. I'm thinking Furman's going to have something. He's been really surprising me for the past. Fermin. He's been really surprising me within the past couple of races. So I think he could pull it off. And another reason why I say that Fermin has really been he's really been showing me that he can point and shoot.
Yeah.
And if he can do that, that's what a lot of Coda and a couple other racetracks are really at. Even Japan is really point and shoot. And he's really been showing he can do that.
Cut you off, but he was coming on strong last year at Coda too and crashed out, right?
I think he did. But it was like later at the end of the race. I think it's like 3 laps left. Yeah. So I mean, if he can just keep his pace, and like I said, he was doing really good. So like I said, I'm putting up Fermin, Bez, and Giantonio, with Mark being I always got to put my 4. You know that. I don't want to hear nobody say nothing.
You say 4, we pick 3. That's how it is. and we dropped a high score. So. Shout out to the Poetry Slam. Drop the high and the low. Keep the 3 in the middle. Okay, that's my count. All right, that's what's up. That's not bad at all. Let's talk about World Superbike before we get out of here, guys. Second round. I mean, I guess I just had a race, and I'm not racing again with this club until June, so that's some months off. Don't like it. Australian round was over a month ago for World Superbike, and now they're going to Portugal this weekend as well. Also, I have MotoGP and World Superbike on the same weekend. Now I just got to watch more racing. Stuff things. But what do you expect to see? Is it going to be a Bulaga show? You think Ika Luca Ono might figure it out on the Ducati? The BMW guys, Oliveira and Petrucci. Jonathan Ray's coming back to fill in
On the Honda.
on the Honda. Yeah. What are your thoughts, Smitty, man? Which
Johnny Ray, man. Come
you're
on.
looking forward to the World Superbike race? Sounds like
Johnny Ray on the Honda, yes.
all right.
Listen, for the past 10 years, I've been waiting to see this shit, all right?
He's washed up.
Okay.
Done.
All right, man. So what?
He started on the Honda, didn't he?
Yeah, years
Started
ago.
up on
Then he
Honda,
left like 10 years
yeah.
ago.
Yeah.
Well,
No, it was over
Hey.
10 years ago.
been
Over
around
10 years
the world
ago.
and back again.
Yeah.
Over 10 years ago.
Yo, he's back where he belongs.
It ain't the same Honda. It ain't the same Johnny Ray.
Hey, he'll be on the podium, man.
He's on the back podium on his crutches.
Is this safe to say the World Superbike Honda is a better bike than the Yamaha World Superbike?
Yes.
They're still throwing parts at it. Hopefully everybody knows that. They're still throwing parts at that thing.
Which thing?
So that monster has not fully grown yet.
Which one? The Honda or the Yamaha?
The Honda. They're still throwing parts of that puppy. So that bike is still being very much developed. So Yamaha, not to say that they're done, they're trying to get aerodynamics and all that happy fun stuff sorted out, but it's not pushing any more power bike to bike.
Right.
But Honda, that still is going to be pushing forward with a lot of development and hopefully with with good riders. I'm not going to say better riders, but with good riders. So that thing's going to be definitely pushing forward. So Honda is definitely going to surpass Yamaha.
Is it time for Honda and Yamaha to have V4s in the World Superbike?
I don't know.
V4 supremacy. Let's go.
Yeah.
I don't know if everybody heard about it, but 10K just developed, and I don't know if they're putting in mass production or not, but they just developed the cross-plane crank for the R6.
Okay.
So I don't know what they plan on doing with it. I'm so excited. Look at my face. I'm so excited.
You're gonna get
I'm
one?
kinda like, are you serious? The cross-plane crank on an R6.
It's going to be called an 850R or R6 850 or 850.
880, like 880. But I mean, dude, that is so sick. So I can't wait to see what they do with this thing. Yeah.
All right. What are your thoughts, Tyson, on World Superbike and what's going on? Ducati all the way. Ray has a chance, like this guy saying, getting on the podium.
He's retired. Oh man. It's probably going to be Bulliga. I mean, that's what it. The only reason why Bulliga didn't win, he didn't win last year. It was Top Rack, did he not?
Yeah.
Top Rack.
Last race, yeah.
That's the only reason why he didn't win.
And that's what I was just gonna say. Is like the only reason why he didn't win is Top Rack, and now there's no longer Top Rack. So I don't see any real reality of anybody else taking it from him, unless he gets hurt. Obviously, there's that chance. But,
Right.
But yeah, it's good to hear Honda's actually throwing money at their bikes. I mean, they haven't touched their race bikes in 15 years.
Well, I mean, I don't know if you guys heard, even in the U.S., their contingency. I mean, go buy a new Honda, Smitty. Their contingencies is crazy. That they're giving out this year for racing.
Yeah, but I'm not fast enough to win in these things, so it don't matter.
One step at a time. One step at a time.
I mean, it
Why'd you buy a
sounds
bike?
good,
The
but got to at
contingencies.
least be in third or second to win some kind of money. Yeah.
I'm pushing you, Smitty. I'm pushing you. Come on, I'm pushing you.
Get like a twin. They got the 650 twin. Do some twin races. You know.
No,
I'll tell you
get
what.
beat by the R8.
What I might do is buy that new Fireblade, right?
Yeah.
Put on my old body work and cheat kind of.
Come on, man. You know.
Yeah,
Don't
right.
mind that VIN. Don't mind that. Don't look at that VIN number. Don't worry about that.
Yeah,
Yeah,
scratch
don't look
it
at the
off.
electronics
you
coming
get
out
a
of the
gun, you scratch
forks.
it off.
Exactly.
Serial number.
You know, the bike is starting by itself and pulling into the grid by itself,
Yeah,
right?
it's a 600.
Yeah, I mean, but there's I don't know all the classes, but that was cool because like when I got my 22 KTM, I got some contingency money from KTM when they were giving it out. But I mean, you're right. If you're not winning, it's hard to justify keep having a new bike, and it's unfortunate that you have to have a new bike to get contingency because you know, it would help you. I mean, it's kind of like saying you put the money out there, but most of the riders are not going to sign up to get the money because, you know, so it's like give it to other guys that got a 2-year-old bike. I mean, I know with KTM they did for like 2 years, so it wasn't like a 1-year deal. But you know, give like a 3-year deal or something like that. That makes it worth it because then some guys or women may say, all right, I'll keep this bike for 3 years.
Yeah, we'll see.
You know?
So, Rex, let me ask you a question. The contingency money you got for your KTM, how much contingency money did you get? Can you disclose that?
No. Hey, well, I'll say this: what was it? It was 500 for first place, 400 for second place, and 300 for 350 for 300 for third place
For each round.
Each round, each class.
Each class. Okay.
Yeah. So if you do 6 classes in a weekend,
that's about to go there. So literally, you have to do like 6 rounds or 6 races per weekend, win everything to even at the end of the season come close to retaining or getting back the money you spent on buying a brand new bike.
It depends. I mean, like my RC 390, whatever, is like $6,000. So if you're talking, and you know, some people are signing up. You know, you guys can attest to this. Some people sign up like for every damn race, right? So there's guys that are doing 12 races. So if you're doing 12 races and if you're doing 10 races and you finish third place in every race, I mean, what's that? 10 times 3 is that $3,000?
That's 3,000.
Right. So that's 3,000 a weekend.
Yeah. So,
I mean,
that's something good. So I just want to find out because if it's something like that, then yeah, they should be able to extend that. But like I said, you know, certain people who get
and if you're hungry, it's different clubs, right? Because this is what these are one of the things that Mesa was doing. I don't know if he's still doing that, but you just you're zigzagging,
cherry picking
clubs. And you know, if they got enough riders in there to pay out, you race. If they don't, you go to sleep.
Yeah. That's what Lloyd was doing. He was doing that. Mesa was doing that, but he was only really racing in CCS and Azra. But Lloyd was doing CCS, Weira, and Azra, as well as anything else that he could pretty much grab his endurance, his card with. So he didn't do Pan Am. That's one thing he didn't do Pan Am.
I think if you're a fast person, then it's worth it because at least if you can get on the podium, at least you'll break even. You know what I'm saying? At least, I mean, and if you're motivated enough and wanting to sell merch and do other things, you never know. But it's better than, you know, paying all the money and just driving back with the experience.
With a trophy. And that's it. Yeah. Exactly. Trophy. And that's going to be
if that, you know what I'm saying?
A little sheet metal plaque, right?
Yeah.
Go ahead, Tyson.
There's $20,000 SuperBikes that people are buying. Like, you are not making a dent in that bill.
No.
With contingencies.
Yeah, no, small bike for sure. I think the bigger bikes, you know,
not worth it.
Is you know, it is what it is. But at least it is there. I mean, I think if you can get away with, you know, again, it's a lot of you have to be healthy. Your truck got to be healthy. All the things got to go right. But if you want to race and you can at least break even, or it only costs you $500 to go racing. That's still not bad because, I mean, heck, we're gas now. I'm sitting here like, how far do I want to drive?
Right.
You know, no racing because it's like I don't want to have a bigger gas bill than a race bill. You know, so
correct. Yeah, I agree. Yeah.
But
I want to jump in real quick and say Bulliga show. That's the rest of the season. It's gonna be Bulliga show. So whoever's gonna get second and third, besides, God bless Johnny. I don't think he's gonna do too much this weekend.
Hater.
Hey.
I know, I'm messing with you.
Bulliga's walking away with it. I think he's walking away with the championship. Easy, done, said. Wrap it up. Send it to his house. Second and third is really going to be a battle. I'm hoping that Bautista can at least challenge. I'm hoping he can. If he doesn't do anything crazy like he's normally doing. And then third place, I'm really trying to say Luca Ona.
Okay.
I think he's going to battle it up there because if he gets a good drive and somebody rubs him the wrong way, I've seen him just kind of like, oh really?
Yeah.
And then he's checking out. So
I agree.
That's my three.
I mean, it's not a lot of rounds compared to MotoGP, but I think halfway through the season we should see Ika Luca Ono doing really well. He's a former MotoGP rider. He was nice in Moto 2. He was nice on the Honda. He was nice on the Honda. I think Honda should have kept him. I don't know why. Maybe they wanted to leave, but I think Honda should have kept those two guys because they were. I mean, you know, Samcat and Jake Dixon is gonna have to be better, right? Than these two guys last year. And I don't know, God bless Jake Dixon and Samcat, but I don't know if they're better riders than Ico Corona and Xavi. So it'll be interesting to see what this weekend looks like. I think we lost Jordan. I think that's about it, guys. Anything that I missed that you guys want to talk about before we get out of here?
I'm good.
Most of it.
Oh, okay, that's what's up, man. I
Sorry, guys.
appreciate. No, it's all good, man. We about to wrap, so you came back at the right time. So I do want to thank all you guys for coming on. I really appreciate it. My name is Rex 45. It's the Be Forever Cool podcast. Shout out to Jordan Long Racing, podcaster, radio host, and racer and model. Shout out to Smitty, Smith Shot Racing. Shout out to Tyson, man. I really appreciate you guys coming on. Peace.
Later.